Neera Tanden. She's done, man. Ah! The White House withdrew her nomination. They withdrew her nomination to head the OMB, the Office of Management and Budget. Oh my God, man. You'll allow me a moment to collect myself, yes? I think I'd like to savor this moment. I'd like to savor it just a little bit. Oh, look, we got flashing lights. Goodbye, Neera! Goodbye! It was so nice. But you tried, and you tried. Goodbye! Ma'as-salame. It's a celebration. And with that said, I think this warrants a crab dance. This warrants a crab dance. I think we should celebrate.
Clap for that, you stupid bastard.
Corn Pop was a bad dude, and he ran a bunch of bad boys.
Listen, fuckhead, you have fucking crossed the line, claiming I'm the enemy. You got that, you goddamn son of a bitch?
I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch.
Good morning. Sunday morning.
Cut that bitch off.
Hey, why you texting? Why? You're getting nervous, man. Calm down. It's okay. Okay.
Suck my dick and choke on it. I yield my time. Fuck you.
Goodbye, bitch. Goodbye. Oh, it's a good feeling, man. It's a good feeling. You know, Gaddafi is really taking names this week. First, we see Sarkozy, the former French president Nicolas Sarkozy. He gets convicted for corruption after, Gaddafi gave him 50 million for his presidential campaign in 2007. And now Neera Tanden wanted to go and steal Libyan oil. Gets her nomination withdrawn. The ghost of Gaddafi is taking names this week, man. Anyway, so let's get down to I think we can collect ourselves a little here. So I want to show you how this went down. Basically, this was first. Oh shit! Look, I can do the whole gamer thing. Do you remember when we covered the presidential election? Yes, election night rather. I can do the whole mini me over here. I think. Yeah, look at this. Hi. Let's go on Twitch, man. Let's go stream on Twitch instead of actually passing legislation, right? Let's just act like Congress people. Yes, Queen. So, okay. Let's see how this went down. So, first of all, this was reported by the Washington Post. Okay, they reported that Neera's nomination was done for, and then we had a statement by the White House, an official statement. Okay, so just so you know, this was the Washington Post article. Okay. I hate that gamer thing. Let me remove myself out of the corner. This is not appropriate. There we go. So after that, we had the statement from the White House, which I'll read to you now, okay? So this is from Joe Biden. I have accepted Neera Tanden's request to withdraw her name from nomination for Director of the Office of Management and Budget. I have the utmost respect for her record of accomplishment, her experience, and her counsel, and I look forward to having her serve in a role in my administration. Pay attention to that. We'll get back to that. She will bring valuable perspective and insight to our work. I can't even read it with a straight face. It's just so hilarious, right? So underneath we have a letter from Neera Tanden, right? So pay attention to how they're reporting this, because they're not saying she had her nomination withdrawn by the White House, which is what happened. They're saying, no. Neera Tanden recused herself. She withdrew the nomination herself. Okay, let's read it. So this is the alleged letter. Dear President Biden, I am writing to you to withdraw my nomination for Director of the Office of Management and Budget. It has been an honor of a lifetime to be considered for this role and for the faith placed in me. I appreciate how hard you and your team at the White House has worked to win my confirmation. Unfortunately, it now seems clear that there is no path forward to gain confirmation, and I do not want continued consideration of my nomination to be a distraction from your other priorities. How generous of you, Neera. That's awfully generous of you. Yes? Good, madam. I am incredibly grateful for your leadership on behalf of the American people and for your agenda that will make such a transformative difference in people's lives. Yeah, okay. So essentially, Neera Tanden is so generous, and she's thinking of you guys so much that she decided to withdraw her nomination, right? After all, who would want to waste so many resources on one confirmation, right? That would be foolish, right? If you just voted for someone to take the highest office in the land, arguably in the world, and they started burning up and using a lot of their resources, this message of, oh, we're going to bring back dignity to the White House, and just wasting all of their political capital on one confirmation. I mean, you would think these people are malicious and nefarious, if not extremely incompetent, right? Well, that's exactly what's been happening, right? We talked about this yesterday, how basically Joe Biden and his team and his cabinet were doing more to fight for Neera Tanden's confirmation than they were for the $15 minimum wage. And I don't need to tell you which one of those was a campaign promise, right? So, yesterday I showed you Ron Klain, who's the White House chief of staff. He was talking to Joy Reid on MSNBC. And you remember what he said? He said, we're going to fight our guts out to get Neera Tanden confirmed because she's missing a couple of votes to get over the finish line, right? So let me just play that clip for you again.
But Neera Tanden would be a superb budget director. She'd be one of the most outstanding budget directors we've had. She knows policy. She knows all the how to get something done in Washington. She's a great candidate for the job, and certainly we're fighting our guts out to get her confirmed.
And I mean, Republicans don't care about that. I think let's just stipulate to that, right? They care about winning these sort of fights that are more about messaging for their side. And so targeting these, women, people of color, it's on message for them. Would Joe Biden be willing to make Neera Tanden acting OMB director if they continue to fight? And if Joe Manchin can?
Oh yeah, of course. It's all about people of color, right? Not that Neera Tanden is a corrupt swamp creature. It's just about Republicans being racists, right? You're just gonna ignore everything that's wrong about her, right? It's just a racist thing. Okay, right. We'll get back to that in a second. Pay attention to the next phrase, because she's asking him now, can Neera Tanden be made acting director of the OMB? Okay, pay attention to Ron Klain's answer.
Continues to stand in the way.
Well, Joy, we can't make someone acting director of an agency who has not been Senate confirmed. That's the law. We can't make them acting director of an agency unless they are a career official who's been there 90 days or more. So if Neera Tanden is not confirmed, she will not become the budget director. We will find some other place for her to serve in the administration that doesn't require Senate confirmation. But let me be clear, we're going to get Neera Tanden confirmed. That's what we're working for. And
oh, great. So you're seeing already they're trying to lube you up. They're trying to get you ready for potentially having her in another position where she doesn't need confirmation, right? One of you messaged me earlier on Patreon and said we should try to get her confirmed as or get her the ambassadorship to Libya. No, actually, if to become an ambassador, you need to be confirmed by the Senate as well. So I don't know if they would allow her that. Probably, since she's done such an amazing job at destroying Libya or being part of the camp that destroyed Libya and advocating for that war that is still ongoing. Yeah, she might get it, actually. She just might, right? She seems very qualified for that. So we're going to celebrate this win, but be careful because you might see her again. You're going to see her around. You need to understand something here, man. Neera Tanden, this also, just to debunk further this argument that she withdrew the nomination because of her benevolence and her generosity, and that it wasn't the White House who did it. Neera Tanden is a swamp creature of Washington, D.C. Okay, these people spend their entire lives climbing up the ladder, climbing up people's assholes so they can get to where she is now. Well, not right now, let's say yesterday. But, You understand? Neera Tanden's entire career has been going towards this. And you saw this, ironically, because of her tweets, right? So we're hearing, oh, she can't be confirmed. A lot of people in the Senate, especially Republicans, they don't like her tweets, her mean tweets. And you remember she deleted about 1,000 of them just before being named the, just before Joe Biden decided to nominate her. Okay, but what were those tweets saying? What was she doing most of the time? She was being Hillary Clinton's lapdog, wasn't she? And okay, I mean, she's just an all-around terrible person. We'll get into all her other qualifications. Yes, we're not going to celebrate this without the without the full one. But she was spending her entire career attacking anyone who stood in the way of her getting a job like this. And you saw that in 2016 with Hillary Clinton against Bernie Sanders, right? Why was she so vicious to Bernie Sanders? Because she knows that Bernie Sanders is not going to give her a job in his administration. Hillary Clinton will. You understand? That's why now, again, with Joe Biden, she knew Joe Biden's going to give me a job in his administration. So I'm going to crap all over Trump. I'm going to crap all over everyone else. I'm just going to go with whoever's the Democratic nominee, right? Because at the end of the day, whether it's Clinton or Biden, it doesn't matter. It's just another mask on at the front of the vehicle. So she knows that whoever gets in charge, whoever gets in office, whoever's in charge, it will give her a job. Will give her something of a cabinet position, like the head of the OMB. Okay. So she's been trying her whole life to get to this point, and you really think that she withdrew the fucking nomination? I mean, you're really naive if you actually believe that. It's not just specific to Neera Tanden. I mean, it just in general, usually when people get fired, they don't, you're told to tender your resignation, right? That's how it comes down from high up. Now, that doesn't change the fact. Joe Biden telling Neera Tanden to withdraw a nomination doesn't change the fact that they did spend more capital, they did waste more energy and resources on her than they are for the $15 minimum wage. That's still true. That's still true, right? I mean, they never were going to spend that much capital on it to begin with. We all know that. But nonetheless, even for appearance's sake, they don't care. They don't give a crap. And someone at the White House. Once in a while, you actually get a good question in the press briefing room. They asked Jem Psaki, the spokesperson for the White House, what's up with that? Why are you wasting more time on Neera Tanden than the $15 minimum wage? Let's take a look at the answer, which you already know.
He respects that decision, but progressives don't understand this. In some respect, they're like, why not fight for this? So why is the White House not more aggressively challenging that and sending the vice president to try and potentially overrule that with a vote?
Well, the decision for the vice president to vote to overrule or to take a step to overrule is not a simple decision. It would also require 50 votes. As you know, it's not a one-step decision. And the president and the vice president both respect the history of the Senate. They are both formally served in the Senate, and that's not an action we intend to take. But the president is committed to raising the minimum wage, to working to determine the best vehicle forward to doing that. That's why he put it in the package. He wants it to be raised to $15 an hour, and he will be in touch with leaders from all wings of the party in determining the best path forward for that. Go ahead, Jeff.
A follow-up to Jeff's question, which strikes me. The White House doesn't have...
I'm sorry, I think the video got stuck for a second, but you can still hear the audio. I'll let it keep playing, right?
50 votes to confirm Neera Tanden as OMB director, and yet we heard from the White House Chief of Staff say that the White House is they're going to fight our guts out was the phrase he used, to get her confirmed. So why push for that and not push as hard, one could say, for raising the minimum wage? You could make the argument that the American people stand to benefit more from a higher wage than they would from a chosen OMB director.
You think?
Well, I think that's mixing a few things kind of irresponsibly, if I'm just being totally honest. I would say on the minimum wage, the president...
Dude, can you see how pissed she is that he's asking her this question? Look how annoyed she is.
The White House doesn't have 50 votes to confirm Neera Tanden as OMB director, and yet we heard from the White House Chief of Staff say that the White House is they're going to fight our guts out.
Notice how scared he is asking the question. I mean, look, again, respect for asking it, but it's like, one could say that, I suppose this is kind of like a dumb thing. No, just ask it, man. They're public servants, I thought you have a free press. I thought you're such a benevolent liberal democracy. What's going on here? Why are you scared? No, I'm just busting his chops. I'm glad he asked it. At least someone did, right? At least someone in that fucking room did. So let's listen.
For ACUs to get her confirmed. So why push for that and not push as hard, one could say, for raising the minimum wage? You could make the argument that the American people
She's so annoyed.
benefit more from a higher wage than they would from a chosen OMB director.
Yep.
Well, I think that's mixing a few things kind of irresponsibly, if I'm just being totally honest. I would say on the minimum wage, the president included a raise of the minimum wage in his package because he felt strongly that it's long overdue, that men and women working hard, trying to make ends meet, shouldn't be living at the poverty level. That's why he put it in his package. There is a process that it goes through, a parliamentary process, when it's a reconciliation bill, as you know. But for people who haven't been following all the nitty-gritty of this, because it's a budgetary bill, that's why it went through the process. And again, I would send you to talk to leaders in Congress to see if they have the 50 votes necessary. But regardless, the president, the vice president have made the decision they're not going to move forward with that step. But also, it's not a simple process. It requires 2 steps. As it relates to Neera Tanden, she is somebody who has decades of experience. She is qualified. She is prepared to lead the budget team. And we're continue, of course, to fight for the confirmation of every nominee that the president puts forward. We'll see if we have 50 votes. That's part of the journey. That's part of democracy in action.
So blah, 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 a bunch of hot air. That's what that is, right? Politicians are so good. They're so good at their games, aren't they? After all, that's why she's the White House spokesperson. It's so good to just repeat what we already know. She still didn't explain why they're spending more energy on her than the $15 minimum wage. But we all know why. It's better to get another crony into the cabinet than to actually give the peasants some crumbs, right? That's not really on the agenda. That was just to lie to you to get your vote. And I remind you once again that you don't actually have to listen to the Senate parliamentarian. She says, Jem Sackett says, there's a parliamentarian process and all of this. And okay, great. Guess what? The Senate parliamentarian is issuing a non-binding, a non-legal advisory opinion. You don't have to listen to them. We went through this yesterday, right? We went through this in the video specifically about the minimum wage. And then she says that, Neera Tanden is very experienced. Yeah, no one asked you to list off her fucking qualifications, asshole. We said, why are you spending more resources on this corrupt swamp creature than your goddamn campaign promise? Oh, but Joe Biden is committed to... Oh, my God. I can't stand them. You have to consider I listen to this shit all day. So, I also have my limits. No, but it's just absurd. And... it's really astonishing how they actually tried to lobby. Murkowski is her name, I believe, the one from Alaska. God, I'm just remembering Palin now. But they tried to lobby a Republican senator to get missing votes back because Joe Manchin, who's a Democrat from West Virginia, he doesn't want to vote for Neera Tanden, right? That's when it started. And they're like, oh my God, her nomination is imperiled. So what did they do? They tried looking for votes elsewhere, okay? You'll understand what I'm talking about. So let me show you over here. Okay, I think you can see that now. So Republican Senator Lisa Murkowski of Alaska was seen as a potential swing vote and met with Tanden on Monday afternoon, okay, to discuss her nomination. Murkowski told CNN shortly before the nomination was pulled that she still had not made a decision on Tanden. Now, if you go and look, I remember Glenn Greenwald posted this, but I think it was Crystal Ball, actually. She's the one who posted it. And it was just to paint the contrast between the efforts that they're trying to undertake, right? So you can see where their lobbying priorities are. Okay, take a look. So over here, this is from Manu Raju. He says what Murkowski might be talking about with Schumer and the White House, because they also lobbied on Tanden's behalf, as she holds out on Tanden, quote, I know that Senator Murkowski feels like Alaska was targeted by the administration in some of the executive orders. For example, the drilling on public lands and the cancellation of ANWR. Cornyn says. So do you know what they're doing here? They're trying to appease her to get her to change her mind, right? Like, don't worry about the drilling. We'll take care of that. Just maybe get the vote in for Neera. That's what counts. And then on the flip side, look what David Schuster says. Manchin ally says Senator has received no pressure. This is Joe Manchin. He's received no pressure or lobbying from the White House to vote for the COVID-19 bill with the minimum wage attached. Good for Joe Manchin. Malfeasance at the White House. No calls, horse trading, or effort to find out what would get Manchin on board. Good grief beyond absurd. So do you see how it's not just... Do you see how they're making no effort? No effort, none, to even get Joe Manchin on board for the $15 minimum wage, but they're more than happy to send fucking Chuck Schumer, right, the Senate Majority Leader now. They're making calls from the White House. Neera Tanden herself goes over and tries to lobby on her own behalf, right? They're all endeavoring to get her confirmation sealed, but when it comes to the minimum wage, they're not doing shit. Extraordinary. This guy's in their own party, by the way, right? He's in their own party, Manchin. It's not like oh my God, they have to go and convince a Republican, although they're all the same at the end of the day, right? Let's not kid ourselves. But, there's still a little bit of formality with the fact that he's in your own party. You should have some more leverage over him because he's in your own party. Now, of course, he can defy the whip. He can defy you and still choose not to support it, right? That's what people with a backbone usually do. Although in this case, I mean, Joe Manchin is not exactly an exemplary person, right? But he is right on Neera Tanden at the very least. Although I would still argue it's not about the tweets. She's far more corrupt. It's beyond that. But I just want to highlight to you again how they're doing nothing for the $15 minimum wage. They're lying when they're being asked about it at the press conference, as you just saw with Psaki. And then they're like, okay, well, you know what? We're just going to give up now. And they'll probably try to spin this like. You see, we couldn't get Neera Tanden through. We can't get the $15 minimum wage through, even though we didn't try at all, but you're not supposed to know that. And, it's like we can't do anything. Look, Joe Biden, his hands are tied. Oh, my God, it's such a shame, right? Just up until last month, or let's say 2 months ago, okay? Apparently, being in the Oval Office was so fucking dangerous, right? If you held the office of the presidency, you could wield so much power that putting the wrong person in there, like Donald Trump, it could wreak havoc. It's dangerous to have someone like Donald Trump in there, right? You have exorbitant amounts of power handed to you. And now that Joe Biden's in there, oh my God, my hands are tied. I can't do anything. Oh, no. Oh, what a shame. Oh, the Senate parliamentarian's in the way. I got this one rogue senator who just won't listen. I better not call him. I better not actually move my ass or do anything. Yeah, I'm not going to do any of that, even though that was a campaign promise. And it's still crumbs. It shouldn't be $15. It should be $22, $25. And even then, you're still being exploited. You don't have your healthcare is tied to your job. I mean, it's a scam. It's a scam economy. And so, he's not even doing the bare minimum of the bare minimum. He's not even pretending to lobby for the $15 minimum wage. Well done. So this is amazing, right? And of course, when it comes to Neera, I mean, they're saying they might replace her with Shalanda Young. So I talked about her yesterday briefly. She had her confirmation hearing because she was nominated to be the deputy of the OMB. Okay, so Neera Tanden would be the head. The deputy was supposed to be probably going to be Shalanda Young. She's on track to be confirmed because Lindsey Graham has taken a liking to her, which means the Republican Party has taken a liking to her. So, you can see here Shalanda Young shines as Tanden's nomination is nixed. All right. So what did Lindsey Graham say? He said, you'll get my support, maybe for both jobs. Everybody who deals with you on our side has nothing but good things to say. You might talk me out of voting for you, but I doubt it. I need to work on my Graham accent. But he seems to take a liking to her, right? A bit more than Neera Tanden's. I'll admit, I haven't watched Shalanda Young's confirmation hearing. There's a lot of them. I watched Neera Tanden's, of course, unfortunately, for my mental well-being. But I haven't watched hers. But nonetheless, I can already tell just from these two, just a small quote that, it's a bit better than what Lindsey Graham was doing to Tandon, because now he's saying straight up, yeah, you have my support, you have our support. He didn't say that to Tandon. So Shalanda Young, in her prior role as staff director for the House Appropriations Committee, Young developed a sterling reputation among lawmakers from both parties as she led negotiations on bipartisan funding deals. In contrast, lawmakers have expressed concern that the harsh comments Tandon made about sitting lawmakers could hinder her ability to work with Congress in enacting Biden's policy priorities. Okay, so they're saying here you have John Kennedy. You remember John Kennedy? He's the one who said to Neera Tandon, you called Senator Sanders everything but an ignorant slut. So that's him, right? He says, you may be more than deputy. I don't expect you to comment on that. What he's saying here, essentially, he's saying that, doesn't look hopeful that Neera Tandon's going to get the job, so you might get her job. Okay. Now, there are also, I saw some other names being floated as well. They've been talking about not just Shalanda Young, but also, you'll have to forgive me, the other war criminals. Their names escape me. But I honestly think it's going to be Young because she seems to be okay, and also she was named deputy, right? So regardless, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if we're being honest. The only difference with Neera Tandon and the others is she has a loud mouth. She was an attack dog and a lap dog. You can use both. But she was an attack dog for Clinton. That's why she had a loud mouth. And, okay, it cost her this. But Joe Biden is openly saying, is openly saying that, yeah, we're going to find another place for her in the administration. So I don't think she's going anywhere because she's, again, a career climber. She's been working her whole life to get into an administration, into a cabinet position. Who knows, man? Maybe she might not get it this time. They might nominate her for something else. Let's just wait for Kamala 2024 or some shit. Who knows what the future holds. Jesus Christ, could you imagine if she ran one day? You never fucking know, man. You just don't know. You just don't know. God forbid. But it's good to see her take an L because I don't look. Let's make something clear. I don't like laughing at other people's misfortune. I don't think that's good. Neera Tandon, I think, is an exceptional exception because she's just, she's a bloodthirsty imperialist. She's just spent her entire career shitting on other people, accusing them of the most outrageous things, working for Russia, of being traitors, of, you name it, she said it. And again, we're not going to feel sorry because she called Ted Cruz a vampire. What concerns me the most is the shit that she said in the CAP email, right? So this was Center for American Progress. She was the president of this liberal think tank. Liberal think tank, that's a nice way to say a corrupt slush fund. So she was taking millions from, big tech companies in Silicon Valley. She was taking millions from a bunch of Arab kingdoms and God knows who else. And doing sit-downs with Netanyahu, right? Netanyahu came and did an interview with her and CAP. So she's as corrupt as they get, right? She's taking tens of millions of dollars. What more do you need me to say? And this email right here has been overlooked largely by everyone. This CAP email where she says, should Libya pay us back? We have a giant deficit. They have a lot of oil. Most Americans would choose not to engage in the world because of that deficit. If we want to continue to engage in the world, gestures like having oil-rich countries partially pay us back doesn't seem crazy to me. Well, fuck you, bitch. Kharai alayki. That's what you get. Unfortunately, that's been overlooked, right? They overlooked this. Most Americans would choose not to engage in the world regardless, not just because of the deficit. I'm pretty sure, when Americans go and get their legs blown off, again, we're not trying to say here that the Americans are the primary victims. In Vietnam, they're not. The Vietnamese were the primary victims. In Afghanistan, it's the Afghani people. But I'm pretty sure that the average American, when they're not brainwashed and forced into the military because they can't have healthcare or find a good job or there's no economic opportunities for them, yeah, they would choose not to go and kill other people regardless. Because you know why, Neera? Because most people are not fucking psychopaths like you. They don't care about bombing and killing other people. That's why you have to brainwash them and teach them to hate other nations and other cultures and other countries. And as she says here, it's just about money, right? It's just that this is her idea of fixing the deficit. I mean, she's criminal through and through, right? I mean, could you imagine if she said this like, could you imagine if she said like, yeah, you know, we should do this like on a state level, like inside the U.S., right? We should just go and invade this other state. We should just go murder a bunch of people and steal their shit so we can fix the deficit in our state. She'd go to fucking jail for conspiracy. She'd go to jail for terrorism. But it's okay when you do it in the context of, you know, another country, you know, Libya in this case. But she means it more broadly. She didn't just mean Libya. And she supported not just the intervention. I hate that word intervention. You fucking invaded it and destroyed it, you motherfuckers. There's a slave trade there. You destroyed one of the richest countries in Africa, one of the most prosperous nations in Africa that did not bend the knee to the United States and Britain. So that's what they did. It's not just an intervention. That they like to dilute the terms. She supported that. She supported the one in Syria. I mean, she's a warmonger just like her mentor, Hillary Clinton. So, you know, I'm not going to cry for her. Absolutely not. But don't expect her replacement or anyone else in Joe Biden's administration to be a saint or an angel. They're not. I mean, Jesus Christ, if you're working on a cabinet level position in any British or American administration, chances are you're corrupt as fuck, unfortunately. So that's the way it is, man. And, you know, what a shame. I'm so heartbroken over Neera. I'm so heartbroken. What a shame. Oh, I'll be honest. I'm a little surprised. A tiny bit surprised she didn't get it. You know, I told you actually, if she does get it, it would be because of a Republican. Who knows? You know, they could have maybe gotten Murkowski. I don't know. But you should also think of the advantages that this gives the Biden administration. They can now just go on and keep saying like, oh, we can't get anything done. Look, even our very own Neera Tanden couldn't get through the Senate. How could we possibly get anything else through the Senate when you have all these meanie Republicans? Right now, it's not Mitch McConnell anymore. No, he's gone. No, now it's just, oh, we have, you know, Joe Manchin, who's such a sexist, and you know, we're not going to actually call him or try to get him to vote our way and, you know, lobby him for anything. But yeah, we can't do anything. Oh no, our hands are tied. Jesus Christ. It's just theater. It's all theater, all of it from start to finish. It's all theater. There you go.